Okay, some of you might remember the video that I had of this range. It's an old vintage Kenmore range that I found in the trash. And I had this in my kitchen, but it is now shoved off to the side because while it is an older model, I'm doing my kitchen in a 1950s style, so it's a little bit newer than what I wanted. So it still works fine, so I'm going to be keeping it and putting it down in the basement because it does have the nice large capacity oven, so that can come in handy. But what is replacing that now is this 1953 Tappan Deluxe stove. And this, I actually got this from my neighbor, that it was down in her basement, and it works fine. Let me turn the light on here. It has the VisiGuide, which has, I find the knob for here, just baking times and temperatures for different things. You probably can't, there we can see it now. Baking times and temperatures. Over here it has the VisiMinder timer, which is just a mechanical timer. And then it has the clock. Now this is not the CP version of the stove, so it just has the standard clock. It doesn't have the, you can't set the timer for the oven, but it does have a regular timer. And the clock actually didn't work, and after having it plugged in for about 2 or 3 days, it started working and it keeps perfect time. So we have that, and the pilots were turned off when I got it. And let's see if we can look down in here. And to turn the pilots back on, there's a little screw right here on the pilot tube that I had to turn on. And we can see the pilot light in there. But the only real problem with it, all 4 burners work. And then on this side, now, as you can see, this front burner here has a little bit of a problem. The gas is leaking out actually around the base of the burner. And the reason it's doing that is the chrome, if you can see the burner here. Now this actually has 3 different sized burners, which is the medium sized burner, which is that one back there, this one up here, small burner back here, and this one is a giant burner. And how the burners are made is the top chrome piece of it is attached to the bottom cast iron part of it with 2 bolts. And this front bolt here is missing. So I have to get a bolt to replace that, but it does work. So, but then we have 2 side storage compartments. Now normally this would have bins, warming bins in this side, and then this side over here would be for storage, but I don't have the bins, and I also don't have the burner covers that would go down in here and be stored in the door. So then we have the broiler down here. And the oven controls on this side. Here we have the oven, and very clean. Now this is a manually lit oven, so let me grab a match here, and it also keeps perfect temperature. And then to light this, you turn the temperature control on the oven up to, say, all the way up, like to 500 or 400 or something like that. You light your match, turn the gas on, and you light it right here. So we're going to do that. Let me get a match lit here. Okay, we have a match. Hold it there. Turn the gas on. And there we go. We have ignition. And as you can see here, it's a little hard to see that because I would have to take the diffuser and the main cover off, but we'll take a look at it in the broiler area here. Now we'll turn this down to 250 should be good. Let me kick the fan on. And we can see the oven flames from underneath. And another neat thing, oh, we missed it turning on, just missed it. But the flame, and we can see this from the burner here too, in the back where that small flame is, it's somewhat of a pilot flame, there is a bimetallic strip with a switch on it, which goes, and when the flame on the oven is on, it lights up this little light that says oven on. So there's no guesswork, it's not a switch. If the oven's not on, physically burning, then that light will not lit, or light. So we'll give this a few minutes here to heat up, and we'll check the temperature on the oven. Okay, so while we're waiting for the oven to heat up, I pulled this burner out to show where the missing bolt is. See, there's one right there, and that's where the other one should be. Now, I just took a closer look at it, and it's actually not missing, it's actually broken off. So what I'm going to have to do is remove this bolt and see if I can drill it out and tap it and just replace it. So that's that. And now with the burner out too, we can get a better view of the pilot. Let me relight it real quick here. Okay. Now if you look at the pilot actually comes out of the side of the pilot tube instead of out of the top like most pilots do. So now let's see where our oven's at. Okay, not quite up to temperature yet. So I will put the burner assembly back in, and then we'll be back in a minute. Okay, now our oven dial is set at 250. The valve actually, it just turns the gas down. It doesn't shut it completely off. And that keeps it ignited for whenever it needs to be. Okay, so we're reading a little bit high there, about 275. So it probably needs a little bit of adjustment. And considering this is from 1953, you know, see? I just shut the gas off and our little oven on light just went out. So there we go, 1953 Tappan Deluxe range.